45-55 class. It's an art and honors class. And what you're seeing here is the culmination of that class. All right. But the thing about this class is it was totally different from any other class that I've taught. I'm sure it was different for these students than any other art class that they've taken in their whole lives. They didn't expect to go on the journey that they went. But I will say it was a wonderful experience. We were working with an artist named Mark Dion. He's unfortunately can't be here today. He's in New York. He's a pretty famous artist. Now, the students now kind of realize how famous he is. I think they didn't know when they walked into the class. And not only that, he is a generous, brilliant mind, right? He was so great with these students as we worked on our projects. The other thing, though, is these students went on well, not all of them, but most of them went on 22 field trips throughout the semester. They read several essays. They had lots of discussions on science, truth, art, and the Anthropocene, right? And they were trying to kind of deal with all those issues. And then they were also trying to figure out what it meant to live here in this place and live on the Chattahoochee. We had visitors from the university. We had professors, a few of them are here today. We also had visitors who came and talked about the folklore of the Chattahoochee. We talked about the preservation issues of the Chattahoochee. And there was a picture of me in waders in mud about waist deep, fetching things out. I don't even know what they were. Fetching some leaves and samples for this cabinet that we made that will be in the Columbus Museum. The cabinet that we made with Mark Dion, which every student contributed in some way, and when you look at it, you can start to see that, and Mark even acknowledges the credit to the students, that this cabinet looks this way because of all the work the students did for it. This cabinet will be in the museum's permanent collection for, who knows, maybe for long after we're all probably here. So, and it's kind of nice, I think, anytime, once they put that on display, anytime you go into that museum, you'll know you were part of it. By the way, students, those of you that were part of it, will all be invited to the museum. It looks like January 31st for the unveiling at the museum of that cabinet. Unfortunately, we couldn't do it at this time because those of you that know that went to the archives with us, we actually, the museum's roof had a tree fall on it during the hurricane, so they kind of got behind. But I will have to say this was a really interesting experience as a teacher for me, and I think the students, I think some of them think it was an amazing way to make art. One of the main things I think students learn, and what you're seeing here, is kind of a response to the discussions we had. Whether it was the essays we were reading, or whether it was the experiences they had on the field trip, or whether it was conversations with Mark. Somehow, what you're seeing here is a culmination of that. Now each student was paired up, most of them collaborated for these projects here, and they all today have to now finally talk about these conceptual projects. But one thing we said all through the semester was, art isn't just an aesthetic experience, art isn't about just craft, art is about ideas. And so what you see here are these kind of ideas that were spawned by discussions that we have in class. So that's why the work looks a little different. It isn't about paint, it isn't about craft. These are conceptual pieces that the students came to me about, I think it was about a month and a half ago, they presented these ideas to me. So I think we should start. How about we start here with this animation and let you all introduce yourselves.
My name is Duncan.
I'm Vivian Duncan.
And our piece, it kind of comes from one of the essays that we read. I don't remember the name of the essay, but it talks about the Anthropocene and the use of the word Anthropocene in the time that we live now. And it uses this, it mentions this formula that it tells about our impact, the human impact on the earth. And
alright, so because of that human impact, we are slowly killing the earth. So we decided to have a globe, very literally, metaphorical which is one of the main things that you find in the landfill that's choking our environment, and it is man-made. And so what this stands for, it's all written over there, but I is the human impact, P is population, A is affluence, and T is time. So the higher our population grows, the more affluent countries get, and the more time passes, the more weight is hanging down for growth.
I love it. Good timing.
Good, thanks, guys. Let's move over here.
What are you talking about?
Really like strawberry.
That is like a white strawberry.